to get into this whole Guardian article on colorism um by Caitlin Greenidge. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I mean, I skimmed through it. But she says, like, in the beginning of the article, she talks about how, you know, her grandmother was a dark skinned black woman and she was very beautiful, and how she kind of grew up in like a pro black household, and she was always told that her skin was beautiful, and that you know she was kind of raised to kind of love herself and that kind of thing, and that's a good thing. But then the article kind of, there's a change, and it goes into like kind of like victim mode, where she starts talking about a lot of victim stuff, and how, in society she feels she's a victim because she's a dark skinned woman. And y'all know how I feel about that. I'm not down with the whole victim narrative. I'm not down for black people anywhere feeling like they're victims, because that holds us back. I prefer black people, for us to use our time and our energy to fight against whatever it is that is oppressing us, and defeat it, rather than complaining about it victimizing us. But I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple things. Okay, it's okay, it's like, she talks about colorism. Um, And I'll go ahead and start right here. It says, in the last 2 years, I've been researching a novel about a young black woman living in 1870s New York City and Jacmel, Haiti during Reconstruction. As I imagined her life, I realized how much color would play into her experience. She is the dark skinned daughter of a light enough to pass Burgoy's black women, and the family's background ensures her a place in the emerging black middle class, but her complexion keeps her from ever feeling truly welcome there. Okay. I went deeper into my colorism research, and what I found let me know that colorism is still alive and well. I started with the marriage market and found out dark skinned women are less likely to be married than lighter skinned women. And I want to stop it right there, because when you start talking about stuff like that, this is just pure victim mindset, because there's really is no definitive definition that makes someone light skinned or dark skinned. It's all a matter of perception. So one person could define another person as lighter skinned, but then the next person may not even define that person as light skinned. What's light skinned to one person may not be may be a completely different definition when it comes to another person. So when I look at this kind of stuff and I read this kind of stuff, it's like I always go by, well, what basis are they going by? What clear definitive means are they using to determine what makes an individual lighter skin or darker skin? It says, but colorism shows up in even starker ways. The difference in pay rates between darker skin and lighter skinned men mirrors the differences in pay between whites and blacks. Okay, darker skinned women are given longer prison sentences than their lighter skinned counterparts, and that's another thing. All right, who's really determining? And I believe I've heard about that study before. I believe they interviewed prison guards who were saying this, who were saying that the darker skinned women had longer sentences. And but my thing again goes to, by what definition were they determining who was light skinned and who was dark skinned? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of ambiguity there. And it's just it's, to me, the whole thing is kind of just reaching. You're just reaching for more, more victimology to support your victim argument and your victim mindset. And then it says, and this discrimination starts young. If you are a dark skinned girl, you are 3 times more likely to be suspended from school than your light skinned peers. And my thing is this: is again, how are they determining this? How are they, or is this really something? Is this really hold on. Okay, even more insidious, colorism even affects how we are remembered. Lighter skinned black people are perceived to be more intelligent. Educated black people, regardless of their actual skin color, are remembered by job interviewers as having lighter skin. Okay, so in this paragraph, this is just black people viewing themselves through the eyes of white people. So when they say job interviewers, they're just talking about white people. It's okay, you are how I say, you are you are viewing yourself, you're choosing to view yourself through the perception of the dominant society, or whatever discriminatory mindset they may have towards you. And I don't think we should be doing that as black people. Honestly, I don't think that's not something I don't think that's a way forward. I think that kind of mindset holds black people back, and it puts black people in a position where we'll never be good enough. Because in reality, you'll never be good enough in the dominant society's eyes, in white people's eyes, like that, because you have to find the value within yourself. Okay, you can't just always look to what these other people who don't have your interest at heart are thinking about you. Um, Okay, so then she goes on, and it's the daily toll of living with colorism is inescapable. Darker skinned people report higher experiences of microaggressions. Heavier set dark skinned men report the highest levels of microaggressions. All of this affects our mental health and well being. Darker skinned black women report more psychological deterioration and self report worse health than lighter skinned women. Taking all of this into account, I cannot help to think how the weight of history comes to bear on our daily living today. So yeah, it's a highly victim article in my view. Okay, and she even talks about art authors and stuff, and she says, we talked about who was respected for their craft, who was deemed a literary darling, and who was not. Have you ever noticed the women of color writers who are championed as ingeniouses or geniuses are almost always light skinned? A question I typed out into the thread, knowing it was a place to be able to unpack and figure out the complications around these feelings. And again, that's just another perception of black people perceiving themselves through the eyes of the dominant society. And I just don't agree with that. I don't think black people should be doing that. I don't think that puts us in an advantageous position. Um and whatnot. Um so yeah, she talks about it. But it's just like Chrissy said, you know, y'all gonna have to learn how to promote your own image at the end of the day. Okay, no one else is gonna do it. You have to do it. This is some work you have to do. The dominant society isn't gonna help you do it. Y'all do have some black male allies like myself who are willing to stand with y'all. Okay, But y'all need to understand that this is primarily work that y'all as black women are gonna have to. Y'all can't keep putting these non-black women and mixed women above yourselves. Y'all have to stop that. Chrissy been telling y'all that for years, and I'm telling y'all that too. Y'all have to stop that. It really is just that simple. But if y'all don't, we're gonna keep getting more articles like this Guardian article about black women victimization and being victims and stuff like that. And it is what it is. But I just want to briefly go over the article. Let me know what y'all think. Get the likes up. Peace.